everyone. In this week we are sharing recipes which you can make from a Paniyaram pan. This is a Paniyaram pan which has cavities and holes in it, and this is a really versatile pan, not just for making paniyarams but also making all different kinds of things, like from pakoras to your vadas for dahi vadas, and a lot more things like if you're making a kadhi pakoda, then you can make your vada for the kadhi pakoda as well in the Paniyaram pan. So what this Paniyaram pan does is I believe that I've been using this for a long time, that it helps you minimize the use of oil and as well as deep frying. In deep frying, when you essentially have to put the entire pakoda or the vada into the hot oil and then deep fry it, and it soaks in a lot of oil as well. But and then typically you don't tend to reuse the oil that you have used for deep frying, and a lot of oil gets wasted. So one is health benefits, the amount of oil that you can actually control by using a Paniyaram pan and get the same effect, and also reduce the wastage of oil, which typically once after deep frying you don't tend to use the oil. So let me show you. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a mixed vegetable pakoda using a Paniyaram pan. It's really simple, and you'll be surprised how nice and crisp your the pakodas will come when you make it in a pan without deep frying. Yes, it does take a little while, but it's also really quick and healthy. So let me get started. Okay, so in my pan I have some besan over here, and I've measured some besan, and I'm going to add some rice flour. Rice flour is a great addition to pakodas because it brings in a lot of crispness. And to this I'm going to add in some red chili powder, some salt. Salt is a very important ingredient. I'm just going to go ahead and add some salt to taste, and I'm going to add in some ajwain. Okay, and you can add kalonji, you can add any other flavor, seeds of your soy, crushed fennel or somf you can add to the pakoda. And then I'm going to add in some Eno's fruit salt. The addition of Eno's fruit salt, a lot of people might ask me why can we omit it and can we not use it in the dish. The reason I'm adding is when you are not deep frying, you want your outside to be nice and crisp. The rice flour is one of the things that helps in that. Plus the inside to be nice, fluffy and soft. You don't want it to be hard and firm. You want it to sort of be nice. So hence the reason I'm adding the Eno's fruit salt. What it does is it helps it to bring in, aerate the entire thing, and helps in making it nice and fluffy. So I'm just going to add that. And to this I'm going to add in some grated carrots, and I'm going to add in some corn, sweet corn, some finely chopped capsicum, and onions. That's it. So now after this I'm going to mix this and add some water little at a time, and then mix it to make a nice firm batter. So that's it. So once your batter is firm, I'm going to preheat my Paniyaram pan and add this into the Paniyaram pan. Once it's heated, drizzle some oil and then make these delicious pakodas. So I've been preheating my Paniyaram pan, and it's hot, so when you notice that there's a little bit of heat coming through, you know it's heated. So I'm going to be adding little oil into each one of my cavities, and just a little bit, right? And then we'll add a little more extra later. And to this I'm going to spoon in the pakoda batter, just a little bit at a time. Pakodas are typically irregular shapes, so keep them irregular shapes to make them feel like a pakoda, right? So that's it. You don't have to shape them, just add it in, and we'll wait until the bottom is done. It will take less than a minute for it to get steam cooked. So once it's done, I'm going to drizzle a little more oil on the top and then flip it over. So it'll just about a minute, and then we'll flip it over. Yeah, so notice that the pakodas, that it's just been less than a minute, and when I actually move it, it moves. So with a spoon, so this is when you know it's getting done from the bottom, and it's not yet crisp. So at this stage I'm going to add a little more oil on the top, and this is completely optional. If you want to not add this oil, you can, but if you want a nice crisp pakoda, then this will really help. Okay, so just go ahead and flip it and cook the pakodas on the other side. Notice that this is already getting brown. Okay, great. So now another minute or two, and keep flipping and turning until the pakodas are done completely. And you will notice that the crust is becoming nice and crisp. When you actually tap in, it will be crisp because of the addition of rice flour as well as the Eno's fruit salt that we added. So once the whole thing is done, I'm going to be flipping and turning it for a few minutes, and then once it's done, it'll get a nice crisp outer, and then I'll turn off the heat and it'll be ready for serving. So notice the pakoras are nice and browned and crisp on the outer, and it's just perfect, just like you would, deep fry them in the oil. And I've just used the amount of oil that I showed you and just nothing more, and it's just perfect. And it's really nice and soft and it's fluffy, and when you tap in, it'll be good. So the important thing is to make sure you cook it on medium to low heat so that it cooks from the inside as well. Okay, so that's it, it's done. I'm going to take it out of the pan and put it on my plate, and then top it with some chaat masala. The sprinkling of chaat masala on the top adds a delicious taste to these pakoras. So it adds a nice chatpata taste as well, right? And it's perfect for the monsoons along with a nice cup of adrak chai. Great, so I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle some chaat masala here. That's it, and the pakoras are ready. And this is how you can make use of the Paniyaram pan to make your pakoras, your dahi vadas, any other vada, anything that is deep fried and it needs like a sort of a shape, then you can use these. They are really versatile. Give them a try. And every day in the evening at 7 p.m. through this week, you will be finding us sharing recipes that use the Paniyaram pan, where you can make your food healthy and tasty as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and do let me know when you start using the Paniyaram pan for all your foods that require deep frying.